Hey folks, I am about to show you something that's been extremely useful to me when it comes to negotiating with clients. But most importantly, this type of tools are the one that enables for us some strategic decision making, and this can be run with client. But yeah, I wanted to show you the Profit Design Capacity Calculator, right? I am going to walk you through on 3 simple steps on how you can specifically calculate how much is costing you, the design team, the managing overall of the workload, how much team do we need for a specific client, and a couple of more key questions that answers for us by filling out this spreadsheet, right? So I just want to state something very important. This calculator can be used, and it is used right now by my team and myself, and this is run with my clients. And the important thing here is that this is a specific model that I'm running, which is a consumption-based business model, right? So this is entirely based on how many requests a client can ask to myself or my team, right? This is not contemplating any type of project management communication whatsoever, right? That is an additional thing that we do, like keep track of certain clients, certain projects naturally, right? This is a design agency on the roots, right? So we have to keep track of certain projects. But with that in mind, let's dive into this tool, which I think is extremely useful. So in this case, I want you to think about how much designs you can actually do and increasing plans, right? This can be like a 20% increase plan. For example, let's say plan A to get to start working with you is to make at least, 50 designs, right? And now I am going to make a 25 increase or 50% increase, right? And I'm going to drag this down, right? This has a specific rule of a 50% increase to swap plans and increase plans or requests, if you will, right? I'm going to simplify this for you so we have only whole numbers, right? Now, this is a matter of testing. Assigning a price point to a specific plan, it is a matter of testing. It is a matter of you digging into the market and understanding how much people charge. And with that, create a competitive price point. Now, the interesting part in here is that price point can be used as a competitive advantage, right? First of all, can be used and should be used as a competitive advantage because you are more efficient with the model we're talking about, which is the entire templatized model around our teams and how they operate. And second of all, it is by far one of the most important things to understand, right? Now, with this in mind, when you can do more, you can strategically have a better price point with your clients. Therefore, because you can manufacture with a better cost, unitary cost, which is the second step we're going to dive into. This is, as I said, a matter of testing, right? So let's say this will cost some, and I am just throwing random numbers out there. I made an example that makes more sense, which I'm going to show you in a bit. Let's say this is 2K, and if we follow the same rule, this is just an example, then this is going to have a 50% increase every plan that we jump, right? But I do recommend that you give a benefit for clients asking you more work, right? So let's say it's a 50% increase, right? Give me 1 second just to get the math right. Gonna get back to you in a second. All right, now I got it. So what happened here is that the logic I'm following, and this is usually the thing I do when I'm talking to clients, is the moment that you ask for more, the unitary cost goes down, right? This is, I think, basic negotiating tactic you can use. And yeah, so essentially what I did is increase the 50% exactly like on our plan, but make a 10% reduction, if that makes sense, over the 50% increase, right? So yeah, this is a formula, take it as another example, right? And now that we have step one, which is pricing and plans, actually, now we're gonna go into understanding our capacity and how much we pay for it, all right? I don't wanna make it complicated, never. I try to keep it as simple as possible. So I divide the design team into 3 levels or 3 tiers, as whatever you wanna call it, right? Usually it goes somewhere around supporting, and we're talking email design here, we're not talking ads. We're talking about supporting somewhere around this amount of emails. Now, this is only possible, not only possible, but 99% possible. It is thanks to the systems we have and the layers we have, right? Which is the email layers workshop. And this will be a random number. Again, this is just so you can start seeing how this works, all right? Let's say we pay 500 to this guy. Let's say we pay to the level 2 designer this amount, and let's say we pay 2K to this guy. All right, so we have now our price points. This is again a matter of testing, and when you see this, it will make 100% sense, and from there we can start modifying and testing and determining a specific set of rules that we're going to test. Now, step 3 is generated automatically for you. It uses a couple of VLOOKUP formulas that I asked ChatGPT to make for me, and it's just a locator so you can see, this is the thing that you should modify. Designer 1, designer 2. So then you can assign where on your tier or of seniority, let's call it, if you're hiring junior or entry-level designers and then they evolve into a more complex role, like a hybrid into a designer, project manager, and blah, blah, blah. Then the tiers adjust automatically, and the capacity, therefore, it's being understandable as if I change this, that means that I have more capacity, but therefore more cost. All right? So let's say, for the sake of this example, that this is your current roster of design teams, of designers, right? You have 5 designers. You have 2 entry-level designers, 2 mid-level designers, and 1 senior designer, if you will. There's your cost, right? Now, that is a step 1 overall of the process. Now, the next thing we're going to do is just input one number. I hope this works so it looks amazing. Let's say you're in talks or conversations with a client, right? Now, the way for you to calculate this, and I'm talking this because we're fulfilling a lot, right? You could apply this also if you're serving a e-com brand or whatever, right? There are some e-commerce brands that per month are requesting 50 plus campaigns, multiple A/B testing, so then it might make sense to batch them, I think, right? But let's say that for this calculation, you're serving a client that needs 150 email designs. And everything else just fills out by itself. Okay? I want you to know what happened in here. The moment I inputted 150, automatically it tells me that we need plan C to cover this, right? And that we're going to need exactly the 113 credit plan, right? This is just so the calculations are made properly. Now, here's where it gets interesting. You will need, based on how you are right now, on the total capacity, again, which is based on the step 2 and step 3, you will need 37.50% of the team involved here, right? Based on their capacity. Obviously, this varies. It's not static, it depends, and it has a lot of factors that we cannot control. Example, if a client doesn't give us assets to work with, we have to generate more. If the product links are broken or it doesn't allow us to see the full information of the products we're trying to design for the email, and endless amounts of, things that mess up the operation, right? But now, this is the best thing that you can look up right now with the information that you have right now, okay? Revenue overall of this specific calculation, this is the payment. This is taken from here, right? Operative expenses or operating expenses is taken directly from the amount of emails that we have to do, right? Divided into the team needed for this, or multiplied, I'm not sure. Oh no, my bad. It is the total cost of the capacity times the percentage of the team required here, right? From there we have our profit margin, so do not attempt to modify any formulas. These are already working for you. No need to do anything here. And we have a gross margin in here, all right? Now, in this example, this is red because I consider it to be red. I think for the business to really work and you having extra money to make some moves and actually take decisions that move the needle for your business, I think you should be above 60%. And this is the overall design stuff, right? So this is how it's done. I'm going to show you one more example, right? This is right now more accurate to a real life client. It's not entirely accurate because I wanted to make a couple of points. But just to give you how it looks, right, for certain clients. This is another example of how it should look. There's no rights or wrongs here. It's just a diagnostic tool, right? The profit design capacity calculator is designed to give you a diagnosis of your unit economics / capacity, right? And how these two correlate to each other completely 100%, okay? Now, you have the template in here. This can be filled in manually. You can type out the stuff, the number. This has to be numbers, obviously, right? You can edit the designers in here. And yeah, play out with this stuff. This tool will make your negotiations easier, will make your profits more predictable, and therefore you will know on which things your designers need to double down, or yourself as the guy or the person responsible for managing this workload, right? Hope you guys like it. Let me know how it goes.